Hey, what's up team? Brandon here with today's full breakdown. So ahead of you today, we've got some bench press, we've got some super tough side raises, some one arm rows, and then a little arm finisher. So if you like upper body, this is gonna be your jam. Let's get you guys warmed up. First up, we need a tabata timer. So 8 intervals, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. We're gonna go back and forth between 2 moves, jumping jacks and shoulder taps. So you'll do 20 seconds worth of jumping jacks, 10 seconds rest, 20 seconds worth of shoulder taps, and just keep repeating that flow until you're through 8 intervals or 4 of each move. So for your jumping jack, of course, we just wanna be doing our synchronized arm and leg action here. Hopefully your arms are moving above your spine as opposed to maybe out in front of you. Those are some things to think about. Shoulder taps, we're coming down into your push-up plank. So I'd recommend wide feet. That's gonna give you stability here. So really straight arms, shoulders are above wrists, and you're just gonna take your hand and tap the opposite shoulder. So my right hand touches my left shoulder, my left hand touches my right shoulder, and I'm trying to keep my hips really still and quiet. What we don't wanna do, guys, is send our hips and butt up in the air, and we also don't want all of this shifting. Okay, we wanna stay nice and flat and still, and figure out how to do this without the extra body motion, okay? So tabata, jumping jacks, and shoulder taps. Then we move into 2 rounds of opposing scarecrows and bent over row. So for your opposing scarecrows, our normal scarecrow looks something like this. What I want to do now is I want to have one up and one down, and I want them in opposition of one another. So my upper arm is rotating back, whereas my lower arm in this case is rotating down. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to synchronize this. So we'll do 10 switches, but I am trying to rotate with both arms as much as I can. One of the benefits of this move is when we do the synchronized version, people tend to like arch and do body compensations, and they perceive that as shoulder rotation when really it's not. So we're gonna do 10 of those, and we're gonna pair that with 15 bent over row. So if I have a plate, I can grab it by its widest point. I'm gonna hinge over with a flat back, weight back in my heels, keeping the plate close to me. And then I'm gonna pull it towards my stomach and squeeze the heck out of my shoulder blades. So this is meant to be a back exercise. If I don't have a plate, no big deal. Same exact deal with a set of dumbbells, right? I would maybe do this with a neutral grip, so I'm actually holding it the same way I would have held that plate. And then same thing, guys. Kind of pulling towards that bottom rib, squeezing those shoulders down and back. Okay, so that's gonna be your bent over row. So 2 rounds, 10 scarecrows in opposition, and then 15 bent over row. You could also use a barbell for that bent over row as well. Whatever you got, guys, making it work at home. Then, first up, for strength, we've got bench press. So, I actually don't think I've demonstrated bench press yet. We have gone to the floor press all these times. So if you don't have a bench, you are gonna be doing this just laying on the ground doing what we call floor press. But I'm gonna demo on the bench for the first time. So you can do this with a barbell, with kettlebells. I'm gonna demo with dumbbells because that's what I've got. So our routine is 4 rounds, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. So we do need a timer that helps us reflect that, whether it's going every minute on the minute and you can just somehow see the timer, or you've got a partner calling out times or whatever. But we're going for max reps, guys, so we're really gonna be pumping here. All right, so basically get into position, 3, 2, 1, go, and then just start firing as many as you can possibly do in 30 seconds. We are expecting a whole lot of reps, right? So don't go so heavy that you aren't getting a lot of volume here. Make sure you're covering the majority of the range of motion. And then when you get to 30 seconds, stop, take your break, shake it out, and then kick back in for the next set, okay? So 4 rounds, 30 seconds max reps, 30 seconds of rest. All right, next up. So we actually don't have conditioning on the agenda today. Everything is basically strength, like a strength training pace for the upper body. So take breaks where you need to on the rest of this stuff, guys. What we just did on bench press won't be very aerobic. It'll just be more like muscular strength endurance there, okay? All right, so next up, we're gonna do side raises, which is basically this, okay? So grabbing weights from the side of the leg with a straight arm lifting up to shoulder height. But here's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna do 10 reps, but I want each rep to have a 5 count negative. So lifting it up is the positive, Coming down is the negative. So I want that negative to take 5 seconds. So up, Mississippi 1, Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, Mississippi 5. Up, Mississippi 1, Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, Mississippi 5. Up. You get the idea, okay? So 10 reps at a 5 count rep per set is gonna take you 50 seconds plus the lift. So we're looking at a full minute worth of side raises there. So make sure that your weight is light enough that you can actually support it for that 5 count descent. If you get burnt out on the lift itself, feel free to initiate a little dip drive of the legs to help you get it up there, but still do that 5 count negative, okay? So that's our main focus on that, is the negative. So we're gonna do 4 rounds of 10 side raises like we just went over, and then 10 per arm, 1 arm row. So I'm back to the bench. Again, if you have a bench, this is what this would look like, but if you don't, I'll show a quick alternative to that. So I'm gonna have my right knee on the bench and my right hand on the bench. My left leg is on the ground, my left hand is free and clear to grab my weight. Okay, so I'm getting nice and comfortable with my position. I'm nice and spread out on my 3 contact points. My back is flat. I've got a neutral grip on my weight, and then I'm gonna squeeze this towards my stomach, just like we did earlier on the bent over row. And I'm gonna squeeze my left shoulder blade back as I pull. So I'm gonna do 10 reps on this side, and then of course I've gotta switch everything over and do 10 on the other side. Now, if you don't have a bench that will fit your knee and your hand, no problem. Grab a chair, grab an ottoman, step stool, whatever you've got. You can just post your hand there and have both feet on the ground, but nice and spread out. Same thing, establish a flat back, and then do the same pulling action and the same shoulder blade squeeze. Okay, so you don't need a weightlifting bench to do 1 arm rows. All right, so 4 rounds, 10 side raises with the 5 count negative, and 10 per arm, 1 arm row. And then we've got one more bracket, guys, to finish out the upper body routine today. So we're gonna go with our tabata interval once again. So we started the workout with this, we're gonna end the workout with this, but now the movements we're gonna do are skull crushers and then a bicep curl. So for skull crushers, I'll demo this on my bench. If you don't have a bench, you're laying on the floor. Make sure I'm in view here. So I will kick back with a pair of dumbbells. Again, this could be done with a barbell. So with straight arms, I'm gonna then bend my elbow so that the weights come right beside my head, and then I'm going to extend just that elbow joint, and I'm using my triceps to do that. So you can see, hopefully, that this arm bone here, the humerus, is just pointing straight up the whole time. It's not deviating. So I'm gonna do as many skull crushers as I can in my 20-second interval. Then I'm gonna pop up during my 10-second interval, and I'm gonna rest for those 10 seconds, but I'm getting set for bicep curls. Here's how I want you guys to do bicep curls today. We're gonna start with 1 arm up and 1 arm down, and we're gonna switch at the same time. So they are passing in the middle, and I want a really fast cadence. So I would rather you guys err on the side of going just a hair light and get more speed and more repetition versus going so heavy that you just get very few reps in the 20-second interval, okay? So finishing today's workout with 8 rounds, or 4 each, of skull crushers and alternating dumbbell curls. So all things combined, you should definitely get a lot of repetition in on the upper body. You should be feeling pumped and pretty good about that. Obviously no real conditioning, so we're kind of recovering that system a little bit to go attack it on the next one. Great job today, guys. Stay safe out there, stay strong, and we'll see you next time.